forward and get your heel to your butt, heel to butt, hip forward to the computer, heel to butt, hip forward, heel to butt, hip forward, and bend. And then you're going to turn onto your back. Now, I had a sneaking suspicion you might come today, Rachel, so I've got a very intense stretch, which I've got just for you. We'll see if you can still do it. It's like the stretch, it's the penultimate stretch for everyone. So we got to warm up to it once we finish this side of our hamstrings. So reach the hamstring long on the floor, toe is pointed up, so you're in that dorsiflex position, and reach the heel of the leg in the band all the way up to the ceiling, or in my case all the way to the sky. And then gently turn it inwards from the hip joint, not from the knee or the ankle, but from the deep inside the hip joint, and bring it up towards the opposite shoulder. So I've got my left leg in the band, so I'm taking the toe towards my left shoulder. Reaching the heel away, and now I'm feeling it really intensely in the upper part of my lateral calf and into my lateral hamstring. I didn't give you the opportunity on the other side, but if you want to make more intensity by stretching the perineals, you can pull the sole of your foot down towards the floor, and you'll feel that stretching on the outer lower leg. And bring the sole of the foot back towards the ceiling. Bring the leg up to the middle, externally rotate it, and take it up towards the same shoulder. Feel that inside hamstring muscle.
Shaky on the side.
Yeah, when you haven't used them for so long, you probably are a bit weak in them.
Atrophy.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay, back to neutral, and we're going to bend up the leg that's on the floor, externally rotate it at the hip, and then allow that leg in the band to go all the way out to the side, remaining in a neutral pelvis. Flexing in the ankle, reach long through the inner thigh, out through the inner calf and into the heel. Number 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring the leg that's on the floor back up to pointing to the ceiling as you reach the leg in the band up. And bend. Oh no, we've got to go to the other side. Slide the leg down and stretching the outer thigh muscles. Really getting that length through the outer thigh, into those lower glutes, into your TFL. Reach your heel long. Feel the muscles in the leg let go and relax. One more breath there. And bring it up to the ceiling. Bend in the leg that's on the floor. Bend the leg in the band and release yourself from the band. Pop it down. And then we cross that leg over like we're sitting cross-legged and rotate away from the leg that's on top. Over we go, and we look in the opposite direction. Get a nice stretch through the neck, and reaching that top knee long and away from us. And thinking of lengthening your tailbone, almost like you're going to do the beginning part of a pelvic curl to bridge. So lengthen your tail, lift your pubic bone towards your sternum. Inhale and exhale, lead back with your tailbone, your sacrum, and then the legs follow. Place the ankle of that leg on the knee, push the knee away and rotate back to the place you just came from. And lengthen your knee away. Again, that tucking the tail, so you're lengthening through the tailbone and lifting through the pubic bone. Looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Lead with the tail, then the sacrum. Get the sacrum there, then the legs can come back up. When you're back in your neutral pelvis, float up the leg that's on the floor. And so we are exactly like the other side. You need to do it the same way as the other side. Hook your foot around the Theraband and pull the band towards us. And the 3 positions here. Pull the legs in and send your tailbone away. Draw the legs in a bit further. Send your tailbone away. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Draw your abdominals in to support the lower back. Draw the legs in and draw the tailbone away. And this leg can just relax. Go head towards the floor. Last position. Draw the legs in a bit and drop the tailbone away. Hold that for 5 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming up out of that, place the foot on the floor. Bring that leg to tabletop and float it down. And I'd like you to rotate towards the camera. So lift your bottom up, not just rotating. Now lift, shift your pelvis away from your computer, drop it down onto the floor, take your legs away and roll towards the camera and rest on your head on your bicep. So we're in I'd like you to bend up to a 90-degree position. We're going to do a little chest opener, but with our hands in a curl-up position. So interlace behind your head, our shins are parallel to the mat, and close in. So you want to cradle your head. Inhale and open, like the beginning of a chest opener where you look up to the sky, look up to that elbow, and then exhale, rotate to try and get both arms on the floor, lengthening this top knee nice and long away from you. Inhale there and exhale, draw the shoulder blade down, lift the elbow up, use your serratus anterior to your external obliques and closing in again. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotate the spine. And inhale there, and exhale, coming back. That's the way. Now, take your hands off your head, reach them forward, and put them into a prayer position, and rest your head on the floor. And we're going to slide that top hand forward, and then bring it back so it's even on the other palm. Slide. So this is a really nice series for your neck and shoulders. And then back. And so it's hand leading and back. Now we're going to do it where our shoulder blade leads. So the shoulder blade glides over the ribs and the arm comes forward. And back. Shoulder blade leads. And reach. And still stacking those hips on top of each other. Shoulder blade leads. And arm reaches. And back. The third one is the vertebral bodies of your thoracic spine lead. So the spine is initiating the movement. And you'll notice how wherever your mind is telling you the movement initiates from, it changes the experience. So spine leads, shoulder blade and arm follow. And in. Spine and shoulder blade and arm. And back. And one of my old favourite Bartenieff exercises is chalk circles. And we're going to reach that arm up, like you're drawing a circle over your head. But when you get to somewhere where it feels like the armpit or the shoulder is jamming a little bit, you just go, oh, come on, armpit, you can open. Get a little bit further, it might get a bit tight. So you release your shoulder blade. And then you release your whole arm. And you keep circling around, drawing a circle on the floor, and bring it up and stack on top. The circle keeps going around, and anywhere you find any restriction, just go, okay, you can relax. Go further. And the shoulder blade, and the armpits. Relax. And around. And back up. Now you're going to straighten out the leg in front and flex the foot. Reach it forward as much as you can. And then you're going to take the leg that's underneath and it's going back. And this arm is going to catch it. So you might have to lift your head up just to start with to find it. And then catch it. It's like catching a fish. So your toe, so that knee is going backwards. And then this arm is going to try and catch the toe. This is the one for you, Rach.
Yeah.
Feeling like a rubber band? So push that leg that's on the bottom, push it back and bring this toe. Reach it up. Now those of you that can't reach your foot, you can reach your calf and just pull it up and the knee behind. So you're getting amazing an amazing hamstring stretch and a quad stretch. And if you want the neck stretch, you put your head down on the floor and you get the stretch through right up through the side of your neck. Now let go of the top of the front leg and bend it, take it back and let go. And then use your top hand to push you up. And from this position, stack your legs on top of each other. And we're going to thread the hand that's free and thread it under. It's like our usual mermaid stretch, but we've got our legs stacked on top rather than in a Z sit. Scoop your abdominals in, open your ribs to the ceiling, lift them up, 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 and then come back to neutral and put both hands on the floor and arch yourself up. I want you to get a sense that you're lengthening the bottom of your cervical spine, C7, is reaching to the ceiling. Open the chest. And coming back to a neutral position. Pull yourself up to sitting. And we're going to swing our legs around to the other side. And lying down onto the floor. Legs in 90 degrees of flexion, so your shins are at the edge of your mat. And interlace your hands behind you. And close your ears. So you're holding, you don't want to hear anything, but then you decide you will. So you open up that top arm, let your head follow, and then rotate. Really opening up the obliques and the armpits, but reaching your top knee still forward towards the front. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, draw that shoulder blade down. Use your serratus anterior to get you stacked up on your side, and then closing off to the beginning position. Inhale, open the top arm. Your head rotates towards that elbow, and then you continue the rotation around, lengthening through the leg that's on top. Inhale and exhale, shoulder blade, serratus, external obliques, And then using the lower stabilizing abdominal muscles. Reach your arms overhead, still interlaced. Take them out in front and place your top hand on your bottom hand, and your head relaxes to the floor. And doing our slide of the hand and back up. Make sure you still got this waist gap between the mat and your waist. And reach. You do 3 in each of the 3 positions. Last one for the hand initiation. And forward and back. Now let the scapula be the one that initiates. So it glides over the ribs. It's a different sensation. And back. And then the scapula glides away from the spine. Arm reaches forward. And back. Scapula glides over those beautifully stretched out ribs. And back. And now, the thoracic spinal vertebra are the initiator of the movement. Then through the scapula and to the hand. And back. And spine, scapula, arm, and back, last one, and the spine, it rotates, and the scapula glides, and the arm reaches, and back. Pick up your chalk, draw a circle, goes up over your ear to your skull. If you feel any restriction, just drop the shoulder, drop the armpit, drop the scapula, and continue the circle all the way around until you stack the arm back up onto your hip, and then trace it around. Really breathing into these ribs. Invite the body to let go, the armpit, the shoulder blade. Reach around. Stack the hips back up on top. Take your arms back to that starting prayer position and reach the top leg forward. Flex the foot. Slide the bottom leg back, and then take this arm around, and you can lift your head up just until you get that foot connected, and reaching the top arm forward, reach it, top leg and touch it if you can, and the knee that's on the floor, take it back. You really open through that top shoulder. You might even look over. Actually, that's a really nice thing to do. So look away from where the foot is that you're holding in front, and look at your back foot. And there's a really nice opening of the chest then. Take a deep breath in, breathe in, reach the knee on the floor, down away from you, open the shoulders and the chest, reach your heel towards me, and slowly breathe out. Breathe in, one more breath in. And exhale. Let go of your hands. Bring that bottom leg in, bring the top leg back to meet it. And use your top hand to push yourself up. And like you're pulling yourself forward, and arch up, opening your chest. And sit back. And we're going to sit up. We're already in the position to finish with the somatic exercise I promised. So making your knees, actually I'll turn, yeah, we've all got, I'll turn my knees this way. Is that right? No, that way. It gets very confusing on camera because you mirror when you're in the front of a class, and then it's just upside down again when it's the camera. So we have our right knee going that way. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's not mirroring for you, is it?
It's not. It's weird. It's very, very weird what it does. So, because I have, you've got your right leg, I've got my left. But now I'm going to do my right leg as well, and now I look like I'm the same way as you. Is that correct?
No, you look opposite.
Right. So I was correct.
Opposite. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is mirroring.
Yeah. It's just that when I
Okay,
see
cool.
myself in the camera, it doesn't look the same. So that's really weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the
No, you look
difference.
the same now.
Yeah. Well, the difference is when you're in front of a real class, you don't actually see yourself. So, except if you've got mirrors, I suppose.
That's true.
So, you've both got your right knee at the front. And so I want you to put your left hand on your shoulder and lift that left buttock up. Oh, put this hand, I forgot to say that. Put your right hand on the floor. Lift your buttock up and then drop it back down. So we're using our internal obliques here to drop the buttocks back down. And lift it up. That's it, I'm happy with that. And down. Now we're going to create a more stretch through the muscles between your shoulder blades and place that right hand on your left hand on your right shoulder. And reach your elbow towards me. Your elbow now becomes a bit more of a beacon. So lift up your left buttock and rotate further around with your elbow leading like a telescope. And then exhale, draw that buttock down to be back on the floor facing the front. Lift the butt up so you're using your glutes on your left side and rotating towards your right, reaching out long with your left elbow. Exhale, coming back down and sitting down with both butt cheeks on the floor. And rotate again, lifting up through that left butt, reaching through the left elbow. Stay there and exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, look over your right shoulder. Exhale, look over the left. Inhale, look over the right. Keep your head looking over the right shoulder and exhale, drop your left buttock down and reach your elbow forward. And so you'll feel a really maximum rotational stretch in your trunk. Inhale, lift your left buttock and look over your left shoulder. Drop the buttock and look over your right shoulder. Lift up the left buttock and look over your left shoulder. Place that hand down onto the mat and reach forward a little bit. Like we did in the previous stretch, you're going to pull your hands towards you and arch up into an arch, thinking of the back of your skull reaching to the stars. And exhale, push the hands away from you and go into a nice C curve. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, push away into your C curve. Scoop the abdominals and open the ribs behind you. And then come back up to neutral. And rotate and look over your right shoulder and just notice how far you can rotate around. I'm going to, don't move, but I'm just going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Because we're looking this way and we're going to see if we can improve that spinal rotation by moving nothing but our eyes and our eyeballs. So you will go left, right, left, right. Do a 360 of your eyeballs. Then to the other way. And turn further. And hey presto, it's a magic. And then rotate back to the sitting position where your buttock is on the floor. Just take a breath here to recognize how much space you've got between your ribs and your hips. Pick up your legs and go to the other side. That's it. Fix our costume, fix our hair, and put our hands in place. So the first couple we do with our hand on our shoulder, and lift up your right buttock and turn around. And exhale, come back down, dropping that right buttock to the floor. Reach it up and rotate. So you're lifting up your right buttock. And then exhale, drop it down, eccentrically contracting your internal obliques on that side. Now swap that hand and place it on the opposite shoulder, so your elbow becomes the beacon of light. And as you lift up, you contract those right glutes, reach with your elbow. And exhale, lead down, get the tail down, use those obliques to sit you back down, facing the front. And inhale, lift up and rotate. Exhale, drop down. And get that right buttock back down to the mat. Now we lift up. This time we stay there. Lift up using your right glutes. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, look over your left shoulder. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, look over your left shoulder. Stay there. Exhale, drop your right buttock down to the floor, but reach your right elbow forward to maximize the rotational stretch in your torso. Inhale, lift your right buttock and look over your right shoulder. Exhale, drop that right buttock and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, lift up the buttock, look over your right shoulder. Exhale, drop that buttock down, look over your left shoulder, reach the elbow forward, and come back to a neutral position and place both hands on the floor. And as you inhale, pull your hands towards your torso and arch up, lifting the back of your skull up to the ceiling. Exhale, push your hands away to scoop your abdominals and open the posterior ribs to a nice stretch for the back line. Inhale, come forward, and you're getting a nice stretch for the front of your body. One more. Exhale, push the hands away and curl and scoop the abs and open the ribs at the back. Inhale and open the chest and come forward. Really open the ribs. Get a good breath in and come back to your neutral position. And we're going to rotate as far as we can go around to the left. So you stay in that position and rotate around. Take a snapshot of what you can see. And from there, we're going to see if we can do better. So eyeball. So this is just stimulating your vestibular system. We go left, right, and then a 360 twice one way, and then the other. And see if you can rotate further. Very nice work, everyone. I saw everyone go further. So unwind yourself out of there and bring yourself back to a cross-legged position. And cross-legged where your legs are slightly forward. So you've got it really is a cross at the front. So that is more further away from you than normal. Because we're going to place our hands on our hips and we're going to hinge forward at the hips. Chest is coming forward towards me, and you're lengthening the crown of your head forward. And you'll lean further, and I want you to think of lengthening the crown of your head towards me and your sits bones away the other way, and rounding and opening your ribs at the back and lengthening the back of your neck. Go down further. Breathe it in. Breathe it out and further. Now take one hand forward and then the other and pull your chest forward like you're trying to pull yourself up out of this position. Lengthen through the back of your neck and reach your fingers nice and long and go down further.